What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I'm showing my first clear of the Liminality strike. Now normally I don't do commentaries unless I'm solo, but this is a new strike, so I figure this may be able to help some people. I didn't start the recording until this part because this is where the action happens, so the first 30 seconds is literally just running to this part. But yeah, I just thought it might be helpful just to show a clear and kind of show the mechanics, because there are some mechanics in this GM. And yeah, just some GM gameplay. So for some context, this was LFG, randoms, no microphone, and they were really good players. We had one guy on a speaker sight warlock, he had Song of Flame with Succession, the healing auto rifle, and Dragon's Breath. And then the other teammate, he had the Strand Sidearm, I can't think of its name, Final Warning, and I can't remember what he had for his other two weapons. I think he had a machine gun on, and then he was a Synthesep Prismatic Slam Titan. So for LFG, we actually had really good team composition. We had a healer. I'm kind of the, because I was with LFG and no mic, I went Omnioculus, which I haven't ran in a long time, and it still holds up really, really well, especially in team gameplay, because if I make my teammates immune, I will just get my smoke back. But yeah, I just like running this because if my teammates die, I can get a res. And yeah, the mechanics in this do allow for a lot of deaths when you have to pick up the Taken Essence and dunk it in the Ahamkara skulls. And for that reason, I probably won't be soloing this GM this week. I go out of town on Friday for the weekend, and we have to do our master raid tonight. And yeah, I'm just quite busy this week. Not going to have time. I'll leave that to the super, super good players that are much better than me. The reason I kind of started soloing GMs was because they did get a little easier. So like, for instance, I was able to solo Fallen Saber in like 20 minutes. Where this is a 30-minute team clear. So the solo for this is going to be a test of endurance. And I've never liked that about solo GMs. Like I said, I didn't do it back in the day because it was such a long slog. And then one mistake, boom, you've just wasted like 50 minutes. Where if it's in like Fallen Saber and you die at the Arc Charge dunk, yeah, that's annoying, but it's like 10 minutes in. Where these mechanics on the final boss, like I said, you could be like 50 minutes in, an hour in, and then you're just screwed. So my loadout was Outbreak Perfected with Anti-Barrier, Indebted Kindness with Lead from Gold Volt Shot. Volt Shot's really nice because there's obviously a ton of ads in here. And then Commemoration Machine Gun is absolutely amazing in the boss room because there's a ton of Void Shielded Acolytes. So there are Solar Arc and Void Shields in this strike. So I did do solo up to the dunking the Taken part. So I have done like the first half of this solo. And it wasn't too bad, but I was just playing very patient, very smart. But like I said, if there's mechanics I can die to, then that's kind of out of my control. It's one thing to die to the combat, but like if you have a wrong mantle, then you're pretty much just screwed on this Nightfall. So like I said, I'm probably not going to be soloing it. So this room, there is Lucent Hive that spawns later on, and there's some Yellow Bar Knights, and there's some Barrier Knights, and a bunch of Wizards, and just a bunch of ads in general. So here, I kind of panic pop my super. Again, still getting used to the spawns, which is fine. And this Titan, he was able to make short work of this room. Like, when I got through this room, I think I was like 20 minutes solo, something like that. I know I was dunking the Taken Essence around 25 minutes in, but I took this room very slowly. I would just plink away with my Outbreak, as you can see me doing there, to that yellow bar. And yeah, I was just basically playing from afar, playing really safe, playing around my invis with Omnioculus, and yeah, just really taking my time. Where with a Synthesep Slam Titan, especially on Prismatic, and here we can see a Song of Flame Warlock going in. Yeah, you can just rip through this room. It's awesome. And you can see I already have my Tether back as well. Tether also comes in very, very clutch in this Nightfall. This is my first time running Void Hunter since Final Shape because I've just been addicted to Prismatic. But yeah, it actually held up really well in here. again, pretty slow when I was on my solo. Like, you do have to take your time because you just don't have the damage output that you do with Prismatic. But even still, it is very, very strong. And probably the best build for survivability. A lot of people like Graviton Forfeit. I prefer Omni Oculus. It's just a preference thing. So yeah, not much to this room. Just basically taking out the ads and then more things spawn in. You can see a seal is broken. So I think there's 3 seals on the back wall. And as you kill more and more ads and high value targets, then more other ads spawn in on the next seal. And then eventually we get a, whatchamacallit, a Lucent Hive. It's a knight. But I think my cracked teammates already took him out. So again, when I was solo, I was just really taking my time on him. But yeah, there is a Lucent Hive Knight that spawns in this room. So just be wary of that. And yeah, they're probably the most dangerous ones with their shield throws. And there is a lot of like environmental things to bounce off of. So just play back if he goes into his super and starts chucking his shields. So this part's not too bad. It is a little bit of a jumping part. I wouldn't be so worried about this on a solo, like dying to that. But there are things outside of combat that you can definitely die to in this. So there is one knight here. So again, when I was solo, I just took my time. And then there's lava on the floor. And see, I have like a weird bounce there. And then I didn't realize you can take damage to that lava. And then I jump over it. So yeah, that was pretty terrible. But just be warned that that is able to kill you. So then they go to get my res. And of course, I can't stay alive because I spawn into the lava. So this was a thing in like Lake of Shadows back in the day in the Miasma. So again, luckily we had a healing warlock. So you can get out of this. So I'm actually kind of glad this happened. So he out-healed me with his support frame auto rifle. But I thought the Titan was going to throw down some stasis crystals and maybe block off where I was spawning and let me spawn either on the crystals or like outside of the lava. But yeah, really annoying that you spawn onto lava. So yeah, just don't die there. And then yeah, there's a bunch of void shielded acolytes and an unstoppable phalanx in this room. So just take them out and you can keep going. But yeah, super, super clutch by our healing teammate. So this part, I wasn't involved in. We ran this once before. We got to the boss and we didn't know where the lava spawned. And we were hiding in cover and the lava spawned on top of us. So I'll try to point that out on this. And it wiped us all. So what you have to do on this is you pick up the Taken Essence. And then you have to kill all the acolytes that spawn. So doing this solo is going to be quite challenging. Once you learn where they spawn, it's not going to be so bad. That being said, in a GM, there's no room for error, and then you're just starting back over again. So that's where all the acolytes spawn. I just jump in time. And then I didn't really know which way to go, and don't stop because you can see there's a timer on the Taken Essence, and I screw up and I get down there at 0 seconds and I lose it. So I'm just going to speed this up. Because, yeah, I screwed this up again. So you have to be really fast taking out the essence. And like I said, it's these mechanics that is pretty much just going to keep me from wanting to solo this. And as you can see, those platforms didn't spawn on that side this time. So where the platforms spawn is random as well. So we just get all the acolytes dead. And it does take a minute for that thing to despawn. But because we took so long to kill the acolytes, again, I miss it just by a little bit. So our other teammate, I accidentally hit my super button there when I went to type. But yeah, our other teammate decides to go and do it, and he gets it because he's cracked. Actually, he might die on this one. But yeah, when you're back in this room and they're running, there's just a bunch of ads spawning. They're not too bad to kill. Just play cover. It's not going to be too bad. So he dies. So yeah, if you're in a team, then definitely go with 2 people. So this time I go with this guy. He's going to pick it up And I've got this, which can one-shot all those Acolyte Eyes. So we're just going to take them out quickly. You can see the platforms are on the right side this time. So yeah, Indebted Kindness, Rocket Sidearms, whatever, are really good for this part. I don't know where the platforms went there. So again, this time it's on the left side. So yeah, yeah, just lots of randomness. And I am a fan of randomness because it does add difficulty. But again, in a solo GM, that randomness is going to get me killed. And I just know I'm not cut out for dying over and over to mechanics when a death is so costly for a solo GM. So here on this side, you just have to run through like a maze. And again, this is probably random, but just try to find your way through as best you can. The lava closes in from the top. So I shouldn't have jumped there. I should have just went right off the bat. I duck, I got hung up just a little bit, but I do make it out in time. So that's how you do that side. So now you know how to do both sides, and then in the boss room, it's a little different again. But once you do that, you're on to the next part. So we're just going to speed this up. So this next room is actually really, really cool. Actually, maybe it's not this next room. This part is kind of a pain. So yeah, I see how people could perceive this as difficult, but I just think it's more long than difficult, except for the boss room. It's pretty tough, but definitely back in the day when GMs were tougher, there were definitely harder GMs. So I know in their blog, or not blog, whatever, the video blog, I guess, vlog, they talked about wanting to make the hardest GM they've ever made. But with our power creep and how strong we are, I didn't find this particularly difficult. Like the OG Corrupted, like the first time it was around, that was a freaking hard nightfall. And even getting Conqueror just the first 2 seasons, there were some really challenging ones. GMs were just tougher back in the day. Where now, yeah, this one is very long and time consuming, but I don't know if it was that difficult. There's just a lot of ads to kill throughout this. That being said, like I said, I did have really good teammates here. So here's one part. Those Taken Centurions are so annoying. I hate them in the Hypernet Current Strike as well. So what I should have done is invis my teammates to get to a different spot because we're so pigeonholed here. Luckily, our healer had backed up. But yeah, you want to get that Centurion down as fast as you can because he just keeps throwing those Seeking Orbs. So even if you're behind cover, they can kill you. So there, I make my teammates invis, and then I'm going to get behind this guy, and then we're in a much better spot. So yeah, invis is just still super, super clutch. Yeah, I really had fun running it, actually. Then there's 2 Centurions down here. They're kind of hard to see, but they are there. So we take him out. Then there's an unstop down here. You can take him out from the stairs really, really easily. And then again, I have lead from gold, so I just got 13 free ammo from picking up a finder brick for my machine gun. So that's really, really nice. So this is the cool room. This room is really fun and really hectic. Again, as a solo, this would just take a long freaking time. Like, I'm pretty sure I could handle this room now that I kind of know the spawns. There's some hobgoblins in the back that you have to be wary of. But yeah, with invis, you could run around. I mean, the best players will be able to do this without invis, but I would definitely crutch invis if I was going to do a solo run, just for safety reasons. But yeah, there's some hobgoblins in the back that are shooting at you. So again, if you were invis, you can just go over there and take them out. So you could see I was just trying to take out the one hobgoblin, and then there's another that I'm going to take out. And look at this. Look how good. I show it better later. The Trapper's Ambush does on all those void shields. It's very, very strong in this nightfall because there's just so many void shields. So then, yeah, a bunch of ads keep spawning in. So I'm just going to work on the Grim while my teammates take on the Unstop because they have a lot more firepower than I do with like a Dragon's Breath. Like I said, I was purposely a support loadout because with LFG, you kind of never know what your teammates are going to be running, their skill level, everything. So I just find Omni really good. So we cast the tether, we do the Trapper's Ambush, take out some ads. And then, yeah, you can see Trappers alone can take out like a huge group of ads. So it's really, really good. And then this is literally all this room is just kind of divide and conquer. I could see my teammates were kind of hanging in the mid, so I went back. That's another thing with this GM. They haven't done this in a long time, but ads will spawn behind you depending on the room. Like in that cave, we worked our way through it super quickly, but when I did it solo, there are orange bar Cursed Thrall that will keep spawning in. I think it's on every hive seal that you break, but they spawn in like where you come in. So if you're up at the front, there's gonna be ads behind you spawning in. So that's something they haven't done a lot, but because these rooms are like so big and open, it kind of makes sense. Like they're not really screwing you over, but you just do have to keep your head on a swivel a little bit. So now we have a Subjugator spawn in and those Centurions. So those Centurions, like I said, they're a pain in the ass. And once that Subjugator spawns in, that's when I was going to use my tether. So that worked well. And then just look at how many ads I take out just with a Trapper's Ambush when they were all tethered. So really, really good. So my teammate's dead over there, but the other guy got him. So I'm just going to keep weakening stuff, picking up all these orbs. Yeah, I don't know like what other people are doing. Again, more coordinated teams will do this faster, but I was really impressed with how quickly we got through this room, honestly. Like I said, we kind of just split up very well, and these teammates were really, really good. So shout out to Cuban Missile and the other guy, Frieza or something like that. Very good players. Yeah, Frieza. So then the lava lowers, and then you're able to go to the next part. So again, there's some ads to the left, but I just let the teammates take them. And there's lava there. Oh yeah, so again, like I said, this is just a very long strike, but it's pretty fun. Like I said, it's not as challenging as GMs were back in the day, but it's probably about as challenging as they can make it for our power level today. Like GMs just flat out are easier to do now. Like I said, I'm able to solo them, so they're obviously not that hard. So I don't think I'm that great a player. But yeah, I've got Expanding Abyss on, so, and then Weaken Grenades. So I'm doing lots of damage, and then my tether will make Expanding Abyss, my void sources do even more damage, and that's why I threw on that Commemoration. That, and because the boss room just has so many of those void shielded acolytes. So I think this is the boss room now. So yeah, a lot of traversal in this one. Yeah, this is boss room.
There's the torment. Let's take it out.
So I'm gonna get a tether so we can kind of hopefully melt them down a little bit. Unfortunately, I feel like there's that little piece of rock that kind of sticks up. You'd think that would take the projectile, but it was not doing it. So yeah, look how good Commemoration does here. We get, actually we only got killing tally ×2 there. I guess the shield explosion got a kill. So we get ×3, and then we're just going to work on the shoulders. That's another nice thing. So Tormentors are obviously very deadly, but they're super hard solo. But when other people can take aggro, then you're able to do what I did and just like put in a bunch of damage. There, I probably should have tethered mid because there was a bunch of ads and I have my tether. So there's lava. So like I said, after that first... Here, I'm just going to rewind. So once you get through that first health gate on the boss, lava starts flowing over here in your cover. And back here. So we were all hiding back there when we killed the Tormentor the first time, and we all died because the lava spawns in once he clears out. So just be wary of that. Yeah, that lava right behind me. We were all kind of standing back there, and we all died instantly. So yeah, I kind of saw it happen. They were like, what the heck? We all died to Architects, and I was like, no, there was some lava there. So... that just comes down to not knowing the spawns because it's a new strike. And again, that's why I wanted to make this video. There's also stuff that slows, so I almost died there. because I had got slowed, and when you're slowed, you can't do Trapper's Ambush, I guess. So that's why I delayed my ambush by like a second and almost died, because I wasn't able to do it because I was slowed. But yeah, again, I'm just taking out like groups of 4 acolytes just with one little slam. It's so good. So now we have to go get these charges. And yeah, you do have to go through the little butthole there. I was like, where do I go? Because I had only really ran this strike once, I think, just within the campaign. And you can take that thing to that little portal that was next to me. You can take that to teleport up to this Taken Essence. So, yep, it's a skill issue. I wasn't able to get through this fast enough. Like, there's a bad jump. And like I said, I would be really annoyed if I was like 45 minutes into a solo run and I died because right there, like I got hung up. I'd probably make it out there if I don't get hung up on that jump. But I did, and I died. But because I have teammates, they're able to just res me. Where when you're solo, you're starting all over again. So I go to do it again, I die again, and then the cracked teammate Cuban Missile, he is able to get it done. So there, I took the portal to transport quicker. Pick it up. So the door, I didn't want to mantle there, but I did. And then the door is kind of in the mid there. So you can't go too high and you can't go too low. You have to just kind of be in mid. So yeah, he's amplified, he's going in, and I'm pretty sure he gets it here. If he doesn't get it on this one, he gets it on the next one. But yeah, it's just a matter of getting used to the pathing, which is fine, and that's why I wanted to run this in a fire team. Like I said, I went in solo once just to see, because you never know. But I died to the Taken Essence part, and I was like, okay, there's no way I'm running that solo until I know the path. Well, like I said, the paths aren't predictable, and yeah, I'm just not a good enough player to react that quickly every time in a solo. So like I said, I don't really want to waste my time this week trying to solo it when I might not even get it done. And it would be honestly a boring watch because I would be using the loadout I'm running. So it would be a really slow solo run, to be completely honest. So Cuban Missile gets it, and then we go to here. So the lava comes up from the floor. So if you stay standing where that Taken Essence is, you die, which is what happens to me. So I take these things out really quickly. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep taking them out. But the lava got me. So we're going to speed this up just a little bit. So then he tried going in solo. He died. And then I'm like, okay, let's do it. 2-man. With the Acolytes, if you're running this in a team, which most of you will be, just do 2 people. So I decided to go up top this time because that's going to give me room from the lava. And then, yeah, you can see we take them out really quickly. And there's 3 spawns, I believe. So there's one right next to me. Right there. So yeah, there's 3 Acolyte spawns, and then we're out. So that one's honestly easier than the other Acolyte room, in my opinion. Like, that wasn't too bad at all. I could definitely see myself being able to solo that one, especially doing what I did there, stand at the front of the room and take them out, because then the lava's not going to hit you, and you have a good vantage point of where they all are. And if you're on controller, that part's going to be a little trickier, because it's good to be able to flick, like, really quickly and, like, look behind you quickly. So we get a tether on the boss, and yeah, I'm just going around, debuffing everything, trying to get in some chip damage. The stasis glacial quakes going in on the boss. You can see we're just working the boss right now. I'm just shooting its shoulders. So yeah, that's a pretty good melt, I would say. Big ups to glacial quake. It does crazy damage. It's so good. So we must have just needed to tickle him because he wasn't despawning. There he goes. So now there's one more Taken energy that we have to get. And I believe this is where the hive come in. Yeah. So a hive spawns there. I got aggro and I almost died. Watch out for that lava. That's where it killed us before. And so I'm just going to back up So again, if you were attempting solo, I can't recommend this build enough because Outbreak Perfected is just goated for ammo economy because it can hit like a heavy weapon on like high health targets, and you're gonna need all the ammo you can get in this Nightfall. Oh yeah, and there are moths. As you can see, I took a bunch of damage from those moths, but Omnioculus, when you go invis, you get damage resistance. So that's probably all that kept me alive there. But yeah, definitely watch out for the moths. And then there's a subjugator as well. So they're obviously very dangerous, but we take it out no problem. So yeah, knowing when to use your supers and stuff is really crucial. Like a subjugator, absolutely. You want to tether there. Or Song of Flame could have popped. I don't know if he did, but he definitely could have. So a skull is invoked. So now we have to dunk one more thing in the middle skull. And maybe my teammate did that. So both guys popped supers. I'm just letting them do their thing. So this is why I'm Omnioculus. Even though the Tormentor's not around, I'm able to get an easy res, and he was actually pretty close. And then there's an unstop here. So the teammates stunned him, and I think they take him out. Maybe not, he's in mid. So I'm just playing safe because we're pretty close to the end. So I don't want to be overly aggressive and die. So I'm just really picking my spots, trying to stay alive. And then there's this old trick. Do the res, immediately invis. Keeps your teammates from dying. Even though that was only one acolyte on top of him. He wouldn't have died there, but just in general. So that unstop's dead. All the ads are dead. So yeah, if you were solo, like obviously you want to prioritize the ads. You're just going to be running around this room a ton. Synthecept Titan would be really, really good. But again, I would definitely need to crutch invis. It's like when Lightblade came out. Armin GT was the first one to do it without invis. And it was crazy. He did it on Thunder Crash Titan. And yeah, his movement is just like next level, really, really good. And you would need that because this boss is really fast, honestly. Like, he rotates quickly on you. So having a get out of jail free card in invis is definitely nice. Now we're just putting in some damage, and I can't even remember. Oh yeah, here come more ads. So once you get to a certain amount of health, more ads come in. See, even right there, like I'm in a super, you figure you're safe. Like in a solo, if I died there, I'd be so annoyed. Because I could have just went invis, but I saw enemies coming in, and I wanted to use my super because I knew we were close to melting the boss. So I was like, oh, I'll just super, and I die in the super. But like I said, I could have went invis just to be extra safe, but in a team, I didn't really have to there. So again, always prioritize ads over the boss and just keep rotating around. Just keep on rotating, keep taking out ads. Keep your head on a swivel because you never know where that Tormentor is. More ads coming in. Now, I don't know if they infinitely spawn or what the deal is here because it's so new. But there is a ton of ads. And like I said, Avoid Machine Gun will definitely be your best friend. There's also Shadow Thrall that kind of come out of nowhere. I stacked up Killing Tally. I thought he was going to push up, which he never did there. That's why I threw the nade where I did. But he kind of stays back there and we're able to just put in damage on him. Could be from Dragon's Breath, I'm not sure. Actually, I doubt he would stagger. Because boss enemies... I guess, like, you can stagger the Grasp of Avarice Ogre and stuff with Dragon's Breath. But yeah, typically they don't stagger that easily, bosses. But yeah, you could stagger Crota, you could stagger certain enemies, so maybe the Dragon's Breath was staggering them. And again, I'm just playing safe, and even still, I was running there and still got suppressed. Like I said, this guy moves very, very quickly. So I was just basically waiting out my tether, trying to get some shots from a safe distance. Stay away from your teammates, because if he does like a big cleave attack, like that big slam, and you're all together, you're probably all gonna die. But yeah, that was our run of the new Liminality GM. Like I said, not so bad, but pretty fun, honestly. I don't think I'll be farming it much this week, just because, like I said, I have a lot going on, and I'm out of town on the weekend. But yeah, I just wanted to show it. I think I show their loadouts too here, if you're curious on that, and I show my loadout. So yeah, let me know down in the comments how you like this GM, and if you've beat it already, and yeah, just kind of what you think of it. And if it was helpful and informative, then a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching. Take care.